In lesson 1, we mastered the logic of motion using a simple circle. But today, we are going to upgrade. We are taking that exact same logic and combining it with rectangles, triangles, and lines to build this flying spaceship. So open up your code editor and let's begin. Let's start with the most common shape, the rectangle. The command is simple, rect. Just like a circle, it needs an X and Y position. Let's put it at 200, 200, and it needs a size. But unlike a circle, a rectangle lets us control the width and height separately. Let's make it 150 wide and 100 tall. Go inside the draw function and type rect 200, 200, 150, 100. Click Run. There it is. But there is a hidden trap here that confuses almost every beginner. To see it, let's draw a circle at the exact same coordinates. Run it again. Look closely. They are not centered. The circle is drawn around the center point. But the rectangle? It is drawn starting from the top left corner. In computer graphics, rectangles almost always hang down from their coordinates. So, if you are trying to align shapes, always remember, circles use the center, rectangles use the corner. Now that we have rectangles, let's strip things down to the basics. Sometimes you don't need a shape, you just need a line. The command is line. But unlike a rectangle, a line doesn't have a width or height. It has a start and an end. So it needs 4 numbers, the X and Y where it starts and the X and Y where it stops. Let's try it. Go inside the draw function and type line 100, 100, 500, 500. Click Run. It simply connects point A to point B. Now what if we want a triangle? A triangle is just 3 points connected together. So, if a line needs 4 numbers, a triangle needs 6 numbers. Go inside the draw function and type triangle 200, 200, 400, 50, 400, 400. Click Run. Don't worry if those numbers feel overwhelming. You are just telling the computer, put a dot here, here, and here, then connect them. Right now, our shapes look a bit boring. They all have thin black outlines and white insides. Let's change that using styling commands. Think of P5.js like a physical art kit. You have a pen for outlines and a paintbrush for the inside. Up until now, we've used fill to change the inside color. But we can also change the pen using stroke. Let's turn the outline blue. Type stroke 0, 0, 255. Run it. It's a bit hard to see, isn't it? Let's make the pen thicker. We use the command stroke weight. Let's set it to 10. Run it again. Now it pops. Finally, what if you want a shape that is empty inside, like a glass window? We use the command no fill. You can type no fill. Now, let's prove it works. Below that line, draw a simple rectangle and hit Run. Notice the difference? The triangle up top is still filled, but the rectangle below is empty. That's because code runs from top to bottom. Here is exactly what is happening behind the scenes. First, we instructed the computer to pick up a blue sketch pen with a thickness of 10. using stroke and stroke weight commands. Next, we told it to dip its paintbrush in red using the fill command. Then, we asked it to draw a triangle. Since it was holding both tools, it drew the outline with the blue pen and filled the inside with the red paintbrush. But then, we wrote no fill. This told the computer, drop the paintbrush. Finally, we asked it to draw a rectangle. At this point, the computer is still holding that blue sketch pen, but it no longer has a paintbrush. So, it draws the rectangle with the blue outline, but leaves the inside completely empty. We have one last tool to unlock before we build our project. And this is my secret weapon for making things look professional. It's called Alpha, which you might know as transparency. Right now, when you mix a color like red, 255, 0, 0, it is completely solid. It covers everything behind it. But you are allowed to add a fourth number to that command. This fourth number controls transparency. Just like colors, it goes from 0 to 255. 255 is solid, the default. 0 is completely invisible. And somewhere in the middle, like 100, creates a stained glass effect. Let's try it. First, draw a green circle overlapping the triangle. Next, make it transparent by setting its alpha value to 100. See? The circle is still green, but now you can see right through it. This is how we create shadows, ghosts, and, most importantly, glow effects. Now, let's combine everything you learned to build a spaceship. First, the wings, a blue triangle, sitting behind the body. Next, the body, a simple white rectangle. Now, the nose, a white triangle pointing forward. And inside that, a tiny triangle for the cockpit window. This looks okay. But those black outlines make it look messy. Let's fix that. Go to the top of your code and type no stroke. See? Now it looks sleek. Finally, the flame. Let's use a thick, semi-transparent orange stroke. We have a cool ship, but it's frozen. To move it, we need a variable that acts as our motor. Let's go to the top and create a variable called shipX and set it to 0. To connect this motor to our ship, we simply add shipX to the X coordinate of every shape we just drew. Now, let's turn the motor on. At the bottom of the draw function, we will increase the value of shipX. It's moving. See? So, how does it move? The variable shipX keeps growing. First 0, then 3, 6, and so on. And since we added it to every single X coordinate, it continuously increases the position of all the shapes, pushing the entire spaceship forward along the X-axis. Let's make the flight path more interesting by making it fly diagonally up. Create a variable called shipY at the top. Just like before, add shipY to every Y coordinate in your code. Now, let's fly up using the variable shipY. Remember the coordinate system? 0 is at the very top and Y values increase as you go down. So currently, our ship is at a positive Y position. To fly up towards 0, we must decrease that position. So now, the variable shipY counts down into the negatives. -1, -2, -3, and so on. And since we added the variable to every single y coordinate, it continuously decreases the y positions of all the shapes, lifting the entire ship smoothly upward. Awesome! Finally, let's add a speed trail by changing the background. Instead of a solid black background, let's set the transparency to 25%. Look at the spaceship. It's leaving a wonderful motion effect. But how does this happen? Think of it like stacking sheets of tinted glass. We draw the ship. In the next frame, we place a dark glass sheet over it. The old ship gets dimmer. We draw the new ship on top. As this repeats, the old positions get buried under layers of dark glass until they disappear. That is how we create motion trails. But we have one major problem. Watch what happens when the ship reaches the edge of the screen. It keeps going and going, and now it's gone forever. To get it back, we have to restart the whole program. That's not a very good game, is it? In the next lesson, we are going to give our ship a brain. We will teach it to ask questions like, did I leave the screen? And automatically teleport back to the start. This is called logic, and it's the most powerful tool in coding. If you enjoyed this, click the like button, subscribe to Stay Tuned, and I'll see you in the next lesson.